So this video is parts of speech part 2. I'm just going to remind you that a part of speech is nothing tricky. It is just the role that the word is playing in a sentence. And these are the last 4. So a pronoun is just a word that stands in for a noun. So a pronoun is just a word that stands in for a noun. So this is what it would sound like if we had no pronouns. If there were no pronouns, we had no access to them, this is what it sounded like. Once upon a time, there lived a girl named Bella. Bella had a dog named Scaredy Cat, and Scaredy Cat ran away from hamsters, gerbils, snakes, the wind, the couch, the grill, the toilet, the air, the windows, the tissue paper. Bella had to keep Bella's dog away from humans as well because Scaredy Cat might bite humans. One day, Bobby knocked on Bella's door, and Bella answered. Bella couldn't believe Bella's eyes. Bobby had flowers in Bobby's hands. Before Bobby could give Bella the bouquet, Scaredy Cat showed Scaredy Cat's teeth and jumped on Bobby's face. Bobby never came back to Bella's house again. The end. So what you're noticing is there are no words like she or he or him or her. These are missing. And so pronouns are just standing in. And I just want to point this out to you because I think this is a word that you actually do need to know. The word antecedent, because you do need to know this in just a little bit when we talk about subject-verb agreement. If you say, if the word is Bella, and then later on you say the word she is the pronoun, and the antecedent is Bella. Antecedent is whomever the pronoun is referring to, or to whom the pronoun is referring. So if I say, the dog bit the dog bit him, and I'm pointing to my son, then the pronoun is him, and the antecedent is my son. So I'm just pointing that out to you. So these are some examples of antecedents, of pronouns. So just giving you these examples. I don't expect for you to memorize the different types at this point. All I want you to know is that these are examples of pronouns. And this is really all you need to know at this point. Okay, we're going to move on quickly to adverbs. Adverbs are, in some ways, the trickiest part of speech. They tell how and when and where, how often. About 98% of the time, they end in ly. Okay, so loudly, silently, cautiously, energetically, slowly. They often will describe the verb. He walked slowly. She skipped quietly. They spoke loudly. And so assume that when things end with ly, almost all of the time they're going to be adverbs. They often will just answer the question like when. So, example, in a sentence where you say he came home today, the word today tells when, and so that is actually an adverb. If you say you always complain, always is saying how often you do something, and so that is also an adverb. You know, this is one of those parts of speech that you don't really need to memorize, but you just need to have kind of a basic understanding that if it ends with ly, if it answers the question how, when, how often, and where, it's an adverb. And then other than that, you can move on. Okay. Prepositions. What you should know about prepositions is that prepositions are meant to come in phrases. So if you say, you went over the hill, and you've seen these probably since elementary school, okay? Over is the preposition, and hill would be the object of the preposition. The reason why we teach prepositions is that subjects and verbs are not found in prepositions. I'm going to say that one more time. You don't find the subject of the sentence within a preposition. You don't find the verb in the preposition. And you need to know this because when you try to make the subject and verb agree in your sentence, which is a major problem for people when they're speaking and writing, if you are looking within a prepositional phrase, you'll be incorrect. So if you say blank the clouds, and then I always also say blank 5 p.m., then, and it fits in there as a preposition, between the clouds, out of the clouds, into the clouds. But you can also say before 5 p.m., at 5 p.m. You know, some of them don't work with this, with the concrete word clouds. And we'll do some practicing with this, but again, I'm just really trying to give you like a basic overview of these parts of speech. There's another example here that I think is pretty good. It gives you another, prepositions kind of orient you in a sentence. They kind of show you where you are and where something's going and where something is. And so this is kind of a good example because it shows you a physical representation. And again, these are prepositions. Okay. Okay, so the next part of speech that we're going to talk about, the verbs. And so what I want to tell you about verbs, that's my dog in the background, are that the shortest sentence in the English language is this: go. Meaning you can actually have a sentence with just a verb. Now, of course, if you say go, that is the verb, and then the subject is understood you. If someone looks at you and they say go to you, then clearly they're talking to you, and that's that. So I just wanted to show you that. Almost everyone knows when they say verb, most people think of these physical actions, and that's why I used this picture. Drag, push, bend, kick. These are really obvious verbs, okay? But there also can be mental verbs, like you appreciate, you can remember something, you can love something, you can hate something. These are more mental actions. These are things that occur in your brain. Yes, they are still actions, but you can't really see them. And that's why they're called mental actions. Then there are linking verbs. And a long time ago, an 8th grader said, you know, the thing about linking verbs is you can put them in front of the word sick, which is actually really good. I am sick. She was sick. You sound sick. You feel sick. You become sick. I'm turning sick. I'm becoming sick. I stay sick, seem sick. And basically what these do is they're connecting a noun. They're showing like kind of the state of being from the subject to the end of the sentence. Basically, they're just linking something. And if you think of this, like I can say I am a teacher. All this is doing is showing that I and the teacher equal the same thing. It's just kind of linking it together in a way. Or you can say she is kind. And again, she and kind is just describing, and is just kind of linking them together. So at this point, you have now been exposed to all 8 parts of speech if you listen to the first video and the second video. And so this should be a pretty good overview of the 8 parts of speech. And now you are ready to look at agreement.